Listen, babe.
Welcome to
Coco Caliente. What's so funny?
I didn't know we were doing the intro right now.
Oh, of course we are. Nicole is just reading through some weird or normal stuff to go along with our guest today, Josh Martinez, Big Brother 19?
Yes.
Big Brother 19. They all
winner.
Big Brother 19 winner.
Champion.
Oh, yeah. Mr. Martinez, he's also on the challenge right now, the challenge 35, and he was on, the challenge right before that as well, right?
I don't know. We'll ask him.
He's been on a couple of them. Very lively fellow. He was known for doing the pots and pans and going crazy in the Big Brother house. And he's also of Latino descent, so maybe we'll talk some Spanish, get him to do a little Spanish word of the day with Nicole.
Great. Love it.
Yeah, well, we hope you guys enjoy.
What up, Josh?
Hola, what's up, homie?
Did you forget about our podcast today?
Okay, I didn't forget. I did not forget, but I thought it was going to be like after 3, and then I was looking at the email right now because I got home from a run, and I was like, oh, you freaking dummy.
So you run, do you? How far did you run?
I see on your stories you run like 6 to 8 miles. What's wrong with you?
You run 68 miles?
No, I try, dude, so I try to run at least like 3-4 times a week, but I try to aim for like between 5 and 8 miles.
That's a long ways.
Yeah. I mean, I've gotten used to it. It's a jog. It's not like a sprint, Nick. I'll die, especially with the Miami weather. But no, it's like a good jog. And I've always been. I mean, I've always been a big guy, but I've always like done cardio and all of that because of baseball. So running is like therapy, especially now with quarantine.
For sure.
What are your mile splits when you run?
I don't even know, honestly.
I wouldn't know either. I wouldn't tell anybody either. I would just be like, it's none of your business. I'm running. So
no, I go for distance, but I try to keep it like I've been doing like 6 miles and a half, like around an hour, under an hour.
Okay,
so it's like I'm trying to push myself. I'm trying to get better, but right now it's good, dude. I haven't been to the gym in like 2 months, so
I'm not mad at it. Yeah, no, that's great. I mean, anybody that's listening, you should definitely, if you're gonna run, this is what I tell people: if you're gonna run, try to run at minimum 15 minutes. Or 3 miles, right? The ideal would be 3 miles, but at least over 15 minutes, so you start burning at least some calories, get your heart working.
When I did run it in the gym, I'll be honest, I ran 10 minutes. I was like, I'm done. I ran 10 minutes. That it was the longest 10 minutes of my life. And then Victor's like, you have to run at least like 15 to 30 minutes for it to mean anything. Yeah. I'm like, I'm pissed.
Okay.
Well, I keep up with you guys on social all the time, so I see you working, Nick. I see you guys doing the bike rides and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah, I can do some bike rides.
Victor's a freaking athlete, so...
Yeah, he is. We played soccer yesterday, and my leg is so sore I can't even walk because I was, kicking the ball, and it's like I don't even know how to play soccer, and I'm sore from just kicking the ball, not even running.
I'm surprised she didn't jam her toe. He's just toe punching the ball and everything.
Oh, God. Wait, so are we recording? Are we recording already?
Yeah, we are recording.
Oh, okay. I'm like, I wanted to catch up. I feel like I haven't talked to you guys it's been so long.
Yeah, it does feel like it. It does feel like it. So people,
it's been a while.
People that are listening, Josh, Nicole, and I, we've been friends ever since he got off of Big Brother, and he was there when we got engaged, and he hung out with us then, and us with Paul, like the four of us, when we get together, it's definitely a good time.
Josh is someone.
It's honestly the best time.
You feel like you've known like your whole life when you meet Josh, or like when you see Josh. It's not like awkward. It's not weird. I mean, the first time I met you, it was just like we're instant friends.
Natural.
You know?
Yeah. That's the crazy thing. So I feel like obviously everybody knows that I'm a huge fan of Big Brother, but I feel like that's what's not weird about the experience. It's kind of cool that it's an instant bond and like an instant friendship because I felt like I've known you guys for years when I met you guys. Like we didn't even have to get through that awkward get to know each other friend phase. It's like we all know each other. There's love. And I think that one thing that I've always appreciated from both of you, and I mean, which means the world to me, is you guys have been nothing but supportive and kind in everything that I do, and that means so much to me. So that's why I'll always have love for you guys, even if we go months without talking.
Yeah, it's like picking up where we left off. And I will say, to what you're saying, you are one of the few people, and I think I can only count maybe like a few on my hand, that I do feel that connection with, because not everybody from Big Brother
and Josh might have that connection from everyone with Big Brother, but me, it's like 3 to 4 people.
Well,
Josh, you're one of them. You lucky.
Wow, that makes me feel that just made my whole day. Listen, I try to be as kind and supportive to people, because like when I got off of Big Brother, it was, as a fan of the show, not having alum support was like a shot at, like, it was so hard to like see so many alum not show that support. And I was not expecting it, but I was like, okay, I'm going to get out and like, have some support. And you guys were the very few that, like, right off the bat, you guys met my family. And like those little moments just like for me mean everything. So I've always, like, for me, within the Big Brother family, you guys are definitely, like, I'm extremely close and I have so much love. So, yeah, I'm nice. I try to be nice and supportive towards people, but
for sure,
I got my few also. I got my select few.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, Josh, let's pretend like we don't know you. And there's some parts of us, there's some parts of you that we don't know. So what was going on in your life before Big Brother even came into the picture? Like, what was normal life for you?
Yeah. So I was a broke college kid. I was just literally a college kid. I was my senior year of college. I was going through so much stress because I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. Like, I got into college. I thought I wanted to play baseball my whole life. That didn't work out. And I had like 2 internships, a marketing position, and then I was working at a business firm, like just like working front desk, and I was miserable. I hated it. I was like, this is not meant for me. So I think that's what my drive was for, like, applying to Big Brother. I was always a fan, and one day my mom, what's crazy is that we were watching your guys' season, and which is it's just crazy how life works out. But we were literally watching your season, and my mom's like, I think you should just go for it. Like, and it was weird because I never seen a Latino like myself, and I related, or like somebody like out of the box, and I related for real. And I think I told you this, Vic, but I related so much to Victor and Paul, and I was like, wow, they're different. Victor's Hispanic like me. Like, okay, I feel like I can be a fit for their show. Like, they're casting people that I relate to.
That's awesome.
That's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm not sure that I probably told you guys this drunk, but that's what did it for me. Watching you guys that summer, and I was just in a position where I was like unhappy. I was like, this cannot be my life at 22 years old. I'm not going to work for somebody else. And yeah, so it's worked out for me, which I'm extremely grateful, but it was rough in the beginning, dude.
Did you go to a casting call?
I sent in I tried out 3 times. I tried out for your guys' season. I tried out for season 17. It was 17, 18, and then I finally got on 19.
And you were how old were you when you were on 19?
I had just turned 23.
Yeah, so you were young. So you started right when you were 21 trying to get on?
Yep. Season 17, yeah, I was 21. So for 19, I just sent in a casting tape, like 2 minutes, and I didn't even think I was going to get it. So I was so unmotivated. Like, if you see my casting tape, it has, you can't even, my personality had nothing. Like, you couldn't even see my personality. But I was just like, this is it. Like, I was at a point in my life where I was like, I need change. I need experience. I need something different. And I know that a lot of people that graduate college go through that phase, because I have my little cousins that are,
absolutely.
Sure,
I went through that too, and I had no idea. I mean, I was working at Enterprise car rental, hating my life. So I know exactly what you're talking about.
And I just graduated nursing school, and I needed a break. I was like, I just studied my butt off for 4 years. Like, I need to experience something else, something fun.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I did it. But I did not know that, getting off of Big Brother in my life, I was like, all right, I can go back and like probably work that job, can start my own business. I did not know that like our lives would completely change. Like we would never go back to that normal life, and I'm grateful for that. I'm extremely grateful for that.
Mm-hmm. So it's really bizarre how it turns things upside down. What was going through your mind when you first went into the house after watching this show, right? Where you're like, oh my God, I can't believe like this is happening, like it's real.
I am so happy that production, the first few days did not. So we know how we filmed that first week, and it's like the first episodes, and that doesn't air. I'm so happy that didn't air because I wanted to quit. Guys, I wanted to quit, and for 9 days I was like, I want to quit. I want to leave because my anxiety.
I remember. I saw you. Yeah. I saw you. I hosted the competition.
Nicole walked in and was hosting the competition. I was mid like panic attack, like meltdown, and she's like, I remember running up to Nicole. Do you remember this, Nick?
Yes.
I was like, I hate all of them. And she's like, just calm down and lay low.
Yes. I did.
She's like, just chill out.
And then he went for the golden egg. I'm like, Josh.
Oh my God.
Hey, it worked out.
Apple.
Oh, golden apple. Yeah, it worked out. But oh my God. And it was really cool to see Paul too when I got to come back in. So I did care packages for some nurses, and something that I put in was native deodorant. I'll be honest. I love it so much, and I think everyone needs to try it.
Absolutely.
It's like all natural. It has no, what does it not have, Victor? It has like no aluminum, parabens, talc. It's vegan, and it's never tested on animals. It works really, really well. I didn't like smell myself at all. So the kind that I use is like the coconut vanilla and cucumber and mint are my two favorite. And I think
they have over 10 scents, which they have the classics and the rotating seasonals. So you're guaranteed to find one you love. The classic scents is like what Nicole was talking about, coconut and vanilla, which is the most popular. Mm-hmm. They have lavender and rose, cucumber and mint, and eucalyptus and mint.
And it's no risk to try. There's free shipping on every order. Native offers 30-day free returns and exchanges in the USA. And also, when I went to go look on, there's male nurses obviously too. There's like male scents. It was cool. I got you some, Vic. Yeah, I got you some like different ones.
And what I didn't know, which is awesome, they also have toothpaste.
Yeah.
So that's something that I definitely have to try because I haven't tried that yet. So
and you can check out the over 9,000 5-star reviews from the happy customers who made the switch to Native. And for 20% off your purchase, visit nativedeodorant.com and use promo code COCO, COCO, during checkout. For 20% off your first purchase, visit nativedeodorant.com and use promo code COCO during checkout. So you were in the diary room telling them you wanted to go home, or the house guests?
Oh no, the diary room, the house guests, everyone kind of do. So I think so. It's hilarious thinking about it now. But at the time, it felt so heavy, and it felt, and I never really experienced like bad panic attacks like that. And
you were having panic attacks,
literal panic attacks.
Oh my God, that's the worst.
Yeah, and I think it was like obviously being sleep deprived, the anxiety of finally getting on the show, and it was like a lot of emotions. Mm-hmm. And I was going through personally, I was going through a really hard time that I really didn't talk about it on the show. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I don't mind talking about it with you guys because you're like family to me, but my grandfather had just been diagnosed with cancer, and so they gave him like 6 months. So I was going in with that. Mm-hmm. Financially, my family was in a bad position because my dad had to go away for a bit. So we were struggling, and I had like the world, like I literally felt like this need to have to win for my family. So I had all that pressure on top of walking into a game that
it's like the biggest social experiment to make you like go crazy. Yeah.
So it was a lot. I remember Allison Groner had to like walk into the DR and was like, buddy, you can't quit because we just had another contestant quit. So the only way you're leaving is being evicted. And I was like, fuck. And I'm so happy she had like an hour conversation with me, because if not, I wouldn't have, made it to the end.
So what kind of like flipped for you that made you, because I mean, you were thriving in the show when we started watching, say a couple weeks in, you were just like goofy, you're having fun, you're yourself. Like what did that for you?
I think what clicked was just like for sure, it takes. I'm the type of person where it takes me a while to adapt to my surroundings, and then once I adapt, I can hang. So I think that I needed those first few weeks to kind of just get in the groove and, you know, check myself and be like, you know how many people I died to get on the show for so many years, and I was such a fan, and now I'm gonna completely ruin it because I can't control my emotions. So I had to really like put into perspective what a blessing was to be on the show, and then I just snapped out of it. And
then you felt like when you woke up in the morning, you felt like good, right? You weren't still having. I
started. Yeah. Oh yeah, I started like just realizing what a blessing. Like I woke up every single day in that house when the music would go off and just hearing Good Morning House Guests. Like extremely grateful after like week 2 or 3.
Oh, good. I'm glad because that would just be a struggle to like keep going through it.
No. It switched for me. It switched for me. Like after a few weeks, it definitely turned around for me. And then now it's like, I miss it. I wish I wasn't in that huge funk. I think it would have been,
you can't really
a lot lighter.
Yeah, and it's hard when you get in those funks. It's hard. Like you have no control kind of when they come. They just come. So I'm glad that you were able to get out of that and you were able to see. And then look at you hung in there and you freaking won the whole show.
I know. I got lucky. It worked out.
Wow.
Well, how far into it did you start thinking like this is a possibility for me to win? Right, like the 500K is like within grasp.
I think so. But I never doubted myself. I had a gut feeling. I swear to you, I don't know what it was. I had this gut feeling that I was always going to win. And like, I didn't know how I was going to win. I just knew that I was going to do whatever I had to do to win. And I couldn't get rid of that feeling. Like it was just always, it's so like heavy, like in my heart. Like I had that feeling. And I think where it really clicked for me that I can, you know, I had the feeling, but I didn't really think that it would happen, you know? Like, even when I won and you saw my reaction, I still couldn't even believe that it happened. But I think that it clicked like top 5. I was like, all right. I think, because I kind of saw where it was going with Paul. And I was like, all right, I think I got a shot at this, you know?
Yeah, and
so top 5.
I remember Nicole and I. We were in the audience when they were when they were doing the questionings, you know, with the jury and stuff like that. And I was like, man, I don't know. This thing can go either way. You know, people thought it was clear cut, and I was like, I don't know. After hearing that back and forth with the questions, I don't know how this is going to play out. And then lo and behold, they pull your key last out of there, and it's like
Paul should. It was weird to watch because Paul was wearing the same shirt as when I like beat him 5-4. I was just like, I was sitting next to his mom. I'm like, oh my god, like what's going on?
Yeah. And I listen. I felt for him, and I was next to him because we all 3 of us have a really good friendship with him, and I love the kid. He's one of honestly like one of my really good friends. Yeah, still.
Oh, for sure.
And you know, I felt for him, but also like he won 100K, and I think that if they ever did All Stars, he'll be back 100%. So I mean, he did his thing, so he's all right. He's doing good.
And,
absolutely.
And okay, so when you did the pots and pans thing, I'm just curious. Like, were you just like what was going through your mind? Did you plan on doing your pots and pans dance before you got in?
No. You know what's crazy, Nick? I didn't even realize when I was in the house the impact that made. I think like I swear, like even the whole meatball thing. But when I got out and the amount of pots and pans I signed, like in meeting groups, I was like, what? Like, dude, I'm really known for pots and pans and calling people meatballs. It's like a stigma I can't get rid of now. But I didn't, it just like, I think like Jason, the cowboy, he was like a circus. He did like rodeo stuff, and he did the song one day. And then in Miami, it's kind of like a thing. Like you go to Marlins games and everybody's banging pots and pans and shit like that. So it just like happened out of nowhere. Yeah.
Well, that's bizarre.
Weird. Yeah.
And so how was it for you? So you win the show, you're out, and now you're back. Yeah. Kind of, and it's not. I mean, it doesn't feel like it's actual reality, but you're out in the world and you're getting all this attention. How'd you do adjusting back into the real world after coming from this social experiment?
Oh, it was so hard. It was so hard. And sometimes I feel bad that I didn't share that on social media. Like, because I get a lot of messages like, oh, you live such a great life and all that stuff. And when I get messages like that, I proudly DM, you know, fans or supporters. I don't even like the word fans. And I DM them and I'm like, listen, social media is like a highlight reel of my life.
Mm-hmm.
I don't share everything because I don't want people to use my personal struggles against me, because that would mess me up even more.
Right.
Like, if, you know, they feel like they know you, but the reality is you really don't understand everybody's full story until you get to really meet, like, connect with somebody. So it was really hard. I felt very misunderstood. And even though, like, if I'm being honest, I had just won all this money. I got a lot of attention on the show. I was great. I was blessed enough to have a lot of appearances set up, but I was so unhappy.
Yeah.
Like, I was so, because I felt like the public, even though I got a lot of support and love, the negativity felt so loud that it would break me down. And I felt really bad. My family had to deal with that and have, you know, they would pick me up from places and I would just have a complete meltdown in the car, or like literally like have panic attacks over like going on Twitter and reading shit. And I'm grateful for that. Yeah, I'm grateful for that, because still doing TV now, I feel like Big Brother gave me tough skin.
Yeah, but you have a very kind, genuine heart, so I can definitely see how that could get to you, because it gets to me as well. Even if it's 100 nice comments and 2 really mean comments, I'll be dwelling on the 2 mean comments, and I try not to give that attention because I don't want to like fuel the trolls.
But it's human nature.
But it's
you know?
It's a weird thing.
It's a weird. Nobody understands what you're going through. Like, you know, your friends and your family, and then it felt like I had no escape from Big Brother. So it's like, if I went to a family gathering, that's all they were talking about. If I went to a friend's house, that's all they were talking about. And I get it, it's exciting, but I felt completely like there was, like, I couldn't get a minute to breathe. Like, so even though it was so awesome, it was very overwhelming. And I don't think a lot of us talk about that decompressing phase that is really hard when you get off of the show. Like, the first few months is difficult. It's the hardest thing.
And especially you doing like appearances. I didn't do those, but like that would make it more difficult. I just like went home and kind of like, you know, laid low.
Secluded yourself.
Victor did kind of what you did too. He did all these appearances with Paul and went out, and it probably is just like draining and so like people pulling you in all directions, literally like tugging on your shirt.
I don't regret it. I love it because I was able to travel and do. I feel like I lived the full Big Brother experience. Like I got everything out of it that I wanted. And I mean, you make good money with those things, but I felt like I was 4 months in. I remember it was like January, and I called Paul. I was like, bro, I'm done. I never want to do TV again. And I was burnt out. And it just felt, because I was like a character. Oh, bang the pots and pans. Oh, take a picture. Do this video. Do this. And I was just like, whoa. You know, like,
and what's crazy is everybody that meets you that doesn't know you, you know, they want to talk about Big Brother to us and stuff. But the only person that I ever really feel comfortable talking about Big Brother to is maybe Nicole, or especially Paul, right? Because me and him had that experience together in the house and after, and it's like they're the only ones that really understand how you felt in that moment and the experience that you guys shared. And it's like everybody else is like, you got to tell this story because they weren't there, you know?
Exactly. 100%.
And so, I don't know, there's something about that where it's like, yeah, you know, it's cool that people want to know, you know, what it was like and all about it. But the other token, it's like, I've already had this conversation with a bunch of strangers.
And I try to remember, like, okay, this person didn't ask me the question a zillion times. Like,
and don't get me wrong, because I don't want to sound like, I'm extremely grateful, and I love meeting all the fans.
Yeah.
But it's definitely an adjustment. That period, those first few months when you get off of the show, it's a lot to get used to, and it's a lot that you're thrown at, and like nobody in your real life kind of gets it. But that's why I feel like we all build a strong connection and a good friendship, because we're the only ones that truly understand what it is to get off, be on the show, and then get off and deal with the afterlife. You know, the aftermath.
Yeah, it's a very big build up, and then it's a very fast drop down. So that's also something that gets contestants or house guests or anybody on any reality show, maybe if it's not continuous, is the next year you're old news, and it's hard getting used to that, and people moving into your house and becoming a favorite and taking your like they're the new Josh or the new Nicole, and it's just like, what the heck, I'm chopped liver now. So
I completely I think I felt that really heavy right after, like, obviously we don't know that. So it's like when 20 came out and I was like, all right, 19 is kind of all news and all this stuff. And it's like, it was weird, but also I was kind of like, I kind of like this. Like, I'm like,
oh, that's good. Yeah.
Like, yeah. Like, cause the fans, it's like, they're so hooked for a few months and then they move on quick. And it's like, now it's like, okay, you were part of Big Brother, but people kind of forget about your gameplay and things like that. And just like, appreciate you for being on the show instead of like attacking you for things you did on day 59. You know?
it gives you a nice break too from those people for sure. Sure. So you calling Paul or talking to Paul or whatever and saying that you don't want to do reality TV ever again. So how do you end up on MTV The Challenge?
Yeah, so you guys were I don't know if I told you this, you guys were one of my, it was probably my family and then you and Victor that I called.
Yeah.
When I called, you guys remember that?
Yeah. We were laying in bed we were like
we
closing
talked
up the
for
night.
over an hour. Yeah.
I remember that. And I actually advised you against going.
Yeah, you were like, don't do it. Victor was like, don't do it. Don't go on. You were super supportive, but you gave me the reality of the show. And I'm still very happy that you kept it so real with me, because if I didn't have the advice that you gave me before going on, I would have been blinded to what I was walking into, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I'm happy that you went, right? And now it's being like a career path essentially for you right now. But what was that process like? So even before you talked to us, let's pretend like we were never in the picture, right? Okay. So they call you and like kind of what are you thinking?
Okay, so I had not a relationship, but I had been reached out from MTV as soon as I got off of our season from Big Brother. So me and Jessica from my season got called, and obviously we were under contract, so we couldn't do it. And they kept calling me for shows, but they're like, listen, you're under a 1-year contract, so when your time's up, if you're still interested. Then they call me a year later, and they're like, do you still want to do the show? And I was like, yeah. It sounds fun. Obviously, with you negotiate, you do the whole freaking ordeal, but I thought that for me, I was like, okay, I never saw myself getting off of Big Brother and doing anything with reality TV again. I thought I was going to be one and done, and just like, not even one and done, but I thought I was really going to go back to my normal life. But I felt like if I didn't take the opportunity, and I was getting advice from, I reached out to you guys, which are close friends, and you went on the show. I reached out to, I was talking to Paul about it probably every single day. And then my family was also against it, but I was like, I'm 24. I was 24 at the time. It's like, I'm 24. I have this opportunity and I don't know what it could turn into for me. And you know what? Like, screw it. I'm going to run with it and see what could happen.
Absolutely.
And I'm grateful I did, because even though it's really hard and we know that reality TV is very toxic, extremely, especially the challenge, it's extremely toxic, but it's also, I outweigh the good and the bad, and I feel like there's a lot of positives besides the whole making money and it turning into career. I think like I've been able to travel a lot and I've gained a lot of growth from the experience, so I'm grateful. I'm really happy that I did say yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And I'm happy for you. That's all that matters at the end of the day. And you rolled the dice and you went for it. And now it's something that you're constantly doing. So how did you prepare yourself mentally and physically for even just the first one? Yeah.
So I was training like an animal. I think that, and I remember you telling me that, just like run, just do a lot of like, I was doing CrossFit, HIIT training. I've trained probably like 6 times a week, even like for my first season, even like 2 times a day. Like I just really, really wanted to do well, and I put a lot of pressure on myself, like being a Big Brother winner, to do well. That I think that's why I had a really rough first season, because I was so in my head with everything that I couldn't even allow myself to perform the best that I could.
Yeah.
But I think that, I just trained really hard. I've gotten more disciplined in like with my workouts and all that stuff. My diet sucks. I need to hit you up, Victor. I need to hit up Victor for a diet plan. But I do train like a beast. So I think that just being in the gym and just mentally realizing that I feel like with the challenge, I feel like I'm going to war. Like it's a whole different experience from Big Brother. Like when we're going to go film, I feel like it's war, and it's just like, me against everyone, and I'm just there to win. You know, so it's hard.
So how many seasons have you been on of that? How many? Yeah,
I've done 3 seasons. So this is the one that's airing right now. This is my 3rd one.
Okay, that's awesome.
Does it get easier each time, or is it still always just as tough?
Oh, I think it does get easier because I feel like when, like with Big Brother, our first one, I mean, you would know, Nick, because you played twice, but I think that when you don't know what you're walking into, that's really scary. And I think now I know what I'm getting myself into. I know the personalities I know the people that are going to be there. And I build good friendships to where like I'm walking in already with some numbers on my side instead of like walking blinded. Like Big Brother, you have no one. We don't know who's going in. So it definitely gets easier. At least for me, it has.
Yeah, because it's like people that are coming back. So it could be your friends coming back every single time. It's never like a new cast.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is super different.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And so for you now, like that is that what that's your career now, right? Do you plan on doing that? Like, is it guaranteed for you to always go back, or how do you picture out your future, right? How do you plan out that path for yourself? Are you like, oh, I'm most likely going to go back, so I'm going to stand by, just train and be ready? Or you're like, I'm not sure what's going to happen next?
Yeah. That's a really good question because I had this conversation with my parents like 3 days ago. I think that, dude. So I'm 26 now, and I think that right now, like MTV, I have built something good with MTV, and I do have a good relationship with like the producers, and I am getting called back. I've been called back for the next season and things like that. So I think it's turned into something good where I'm going to be doing it for a while. But I'm going to be honest, right? I don't see myself in my 30s still doing reality TV. So I think I'm going to ride the wave and try to win as many as I can, train what we call the off season. Like right now it's off season, just train as hard as I can and try to win a few and then walk away from reality TV and just start a family. Kind of like what you guys are doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Because that's where I'm at now. Even if they called me to ever do anything again, I'm stuck into my state police stuff. I'm doing that, and I'm happy, and I want to have a family. Yeah, because that's what I always thought about. That's like insurance and benefits, and at least you have your big brother that can technically be considered like a retirement. Put that aside, and any other winnings that you have. So you're lucky in that respect. But there's other people that just have whatever money they had come in from that, and then if they burn through that, they have to go back again to do the next one. So it's definitely a touchy how to plan out your life type of deal.
Oh yeah, and I think that that's the one thing that like a lot of them get caught up in the show and the fame and the money and all that stuff, and all that is great, but I'm a first generation. Like I've been through struggles. I've seen my family literally have nothing and work for everything in life. So I'm very grateful for that upbringing and going through the financial struggles that I went through, because now I am, and I'm not stingy. I love to enjoy myself and things like that, but I'm very smart with my money, and everything I make, it's save and invest. And then like what I make off of, so I still do the e-commerce stuff. Like whatever I make off of that, that's my spending money.
Gotcha.
But like from these shows, it's like I want to make as much money as I can and just invest it so that I'm set, and also so I can continue to like help my family in anything that I can. So it's like invest in properties, invest in stocks, and save up all this cash that I make from the shows, and then hopefully retire early.
Absolutely. Yeah. So Josh, I want you to be a part of our Spanish word of the day today. Okay. So what I normally do is I pick a Spanish word, and we tell it to Nicole, and Nicole has to guess it. All right.
Oh, okay.
So today you're going to pick the Spanish word, just any word. It could be from what we were talking about. Ideally, it's from something that we talked about on the show, or some topic, or related to some topic. That way she kind of has an idea, maybe, even though she 9 times out of 10 she doesn't get it anyway. So you can
whatever. I get it like 70%.
My God, this is hard. You guys are putting me on the spot. Okay.
It's okay.
I don't know. I can't think of a word right now.
Okay. I got one.
Help me out here, Vic.
Okay. The Spanish word of the day is albóndiga.
What?
Albóndiga. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Albóndiga.
Honestly, Victor, that's a really hard one. I don't know how, I'm Hispanic and I'm Cuban and I can't even come up with that. I don't even know how you got her with that. Wow.
It relates directly to Josh.
The challenge?
100. No, Big Brother.
Big Brother.
Champion?
No.
Pots and pans?
Close.
Close. You're getting hot.
If it's not pots and pans, what's close?
Tell her, Josh.
Banging pots and pans?
Meatballs.
Oh, meatballs.
That one was really good. Okay, Vic, that was really good. I like that one.
I should have known meatball.
I was like, Ibondiga, how is she gonna get that? I was like, I had to take a second and think about it. I was like, holy shit.
All right, so and now this other thing that we do, and this one's a lot of fun. So we do a segment called Weird or Normal, right? Weird.
Okay.
Or
normal. But so Nicole's she's gonna go and pick a topic out of or pick one of these out of what our listeners tell us is something that can be weird or normal. For example, one of the first ones we ever did on the show was leaving butter out of the refrigerator, right? Okay. Is that weird or normal? And I thought it was weird. Nicole thought it was normal. We had a whole discussion about it. Okay. So Nicole, what do you got?
Well, this one is from a listener, and flushing their Q-tips down the toilet.
What? Normal?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Wait, I feel like it's kind of nasty to leave it in the freaking bin, like in the trash. Really?
Oh my God, this is a good one, Josh. You really do?
Yeah.
Oh,
I swear, I flush them. I clean my ears every morning and I flush them down the toilet. It's like a habit.
Way.
I am so happy you picked this one.
Me
because
too, because I was thinking this is like,
if Josh stayed at our house and I saw him throw a Q-tip in the toilet, I'd be like, what are you doing to our septic? It's going to get clogged in the pipes.
Oh, that's 100. Listen, that's true, and it has happened. But I don't know. I can't throw it in. I don't know. It's weird.
Oh my gosh.
That was a really good one.
I'm not gonna lie though, seeing a Q-tip with a bunch of earwax on top of the wastebasket, like at the top, that does look kind of nasty. But I still throw it in there, right? Like it's not. I would never think about throwing plastic into the toilet.
No, it's not plastic. It's paper.
The middle part is plastic.
No,
a lot of
paper.
It's paper,
unless you buy the really, really cheap ones, I think it's plastic.
Really?
Yeah.
We buy Q-tip brand and it is paper, Victor.
It's paper?
Yeah,
but it's like thick, hard paper, right? It's like thick, hard paper.
It's very weird to think about foot, and they go down smoothly and everything.
He says it's clogged before.
Do they flow or do they sink?
Okay, now I feel weird, so I guess I've been doing it all wrong this whole time.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm so happy you do that because I don't know anybody who does that.
What?
I'm normally the weird one.
This is a thing.
I'm normally the weird one, so I'm really glad it's Josh today.
Okay, I'll take it.
That is hilarious. Well, Josh, when are we going to see you again? I feel like it's been forever. Because you're still living in Miami, right?
I'm still in Miami, and that's what I was going to say. You guys have to, as soon as this whole quarantine thing is over, please come visit.
Yeah, or either that, or we can coordinate between Paul and us and you, and we can meet in a place for like a little getaway all together, and that'd be a lot of fun.
For sure. I mean, we gotta hang out. The wedding is still happening, right? Like, are we still set for the date?
Well, we're worried about it.
Yeah, we're not sure.
Because of this whole... Yeah.
Yes, because of the COVID thing, and the venue is like pushing other weddings back, and so...
It's to be determined right now.
Yeah,
it's to be determined, but...
And putting your money into it right now, it's very hard. Like,
oh, yeah.
It's like scary because...
When it's a big limbo, right?
Yeah, you sign contracts and like they say non-refundable, but that's before COVID was even a thing. So it's like, and they're not available for like different days. It's hard.
It's crazy with everything that's going. I mean, it's still going to happen, but it is crazy with the times right now. So I completely get what's going on with that. But either way, I want to see you guys soon. And I mean, you guys are just I love you guys. You guys are always fucking awesome to be around. And sorry, I curse a lot, but I just appreciate you guys. So I need your energy. I need to be around you guys. So please, let's plan something.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for talking to us today, especially in this more like not professional, I wouldn't say, but just being on our podcast. No. I appreciate you talking with us and your breath of fresh air.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun, and I appreciate you guys. And I just want to say I am so like happy and just very, very like as a friend, just proud of how you guys have continued the podcast and everything you're doing, and to just stay true to who both of you are and where you're at in life. I just wanted to say that.
Thanks, Josh. That means a lot to us, and we feel the same about you.
Yeah.
We love you.
Yeah, you've never changed who you are, so we love you. Keep doing your thing. We support and we're rooting for you.
Thanks, guys.
We just wish you the best.
Same. Love you guys.
Love you too, buddy. Bye. Talk to you later.
Bye, friends.
Bye.
Bye.
Josh is always so much fun.
Yeah, he is.
Okay, so we are going to read the review of the week.
Take it away.
It is from Lux of Lynn. The title is Love the Way the Conversations Flow, 5 stars. The thing I look forward to most in your podcast is what you guys are going to talk about with each other. It's always random, hilarious, and I love that nothing is planned. Great conversations, and you two are the best people to listen to, Heart.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you I love that. I love that you appreciate that it's not planned, because it's fun that way and exciting, and we've never had these conversations like privately.
Well, I think that what we did one time was we tried to plan out or listen to the podcast, right? Like we did it.
Oh my gosh.
And then we're like, ooh, we don't like how that sounded. Let's try it again and keep the same topics. And then we were stepping over each other on things we had already said. And it was like forced and
natural.
No, it's not. No, time out. It wasn't that I stole her idea. Is that she forgot to mention that
my
thought.
Point.
And then so I had to bring it up. And then she felt some type of way because she's like, now people think that you came up with it. And I was like, I don't know. How else would I was supposed to bring it into the conversation?
Well, you know what? That was back then. This is now. And we ended up keeping the first one we recorded.
Yes, we did.
And we learned that the best conversations just kind of flow. Mm-hmm. And if you plan too much, it's kind of like a speech or something.
Yeah, you imagine going to a date. You already pre-rehearsed what you were going to say the whole time.
But I do think people do benefit from planning podcasts. I think we're pretty lucky.
Well, okay, if there's something that we want to talk about per se, especially with guests, I have like kind of an outline of the things that I want to bring up and talk about, right? Yeah. That's being prepared, but not actually scripting out like, oh, I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to say this, and then because you never know what somebody's going to repeat back to you, right? So you kind of got to flow like water.
Yeah, you're really good at that. Flow like water.
Anyways, thank you guys so much. Please rate, review, and subscribe. The easiest way is on Apple Podcasts. You can do that little purple app on your iPhone, or you can go online. You can listen to this wherever you listen to your podcasts, here, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, iHeartRadio. You can always go to www.cococalientepodcast.com. You can listen there. And you can also check out our merchandise. Don't forget to follow us at Coco Caliente Podcast on Instagram and at Coco Caliente Pod on Twitter.
Wow, that was good.
Thank you.